Yeah, everything trended in a great way. It's solid practice yesterday, shoot around today. It's trending to be available tonight.
That you probably feel as good now as you did last year. How amazing is it to get to that particular point where you feel as complete as you can be to get back out here?
Yeah, just encouraging to be out here with the guys. Like I said yesterday, I was able to practice yesterday and shoot around this morning, so I feel good. Just happy to be playing basketball again. You know, it's been a rough couple months, going through different knick-knack injuries. Nothing really like super big of an injury that's going to affect my whole body career long term, which is the hard part about it, right? Because it's just small little injuries that I have to get over. So I'm happy to be back.
And your body responded well from last night into this morning.
Yeah, really well. Over the last week or so, I really ramped up trying to get ready for tonight and tomorrow, and really for the rest of the the season after the break. But it responded well, and just got to continue to see how it feels after I continue to do more.
Yeah. As for the task at hand, obviously a lot of changes in personnel for the Hawks. I guess the job number one still remains Johnson, who even last night leads the way, and so many different things.
Yeah, he's a Milwaukee, Wisconsin kid, so I know how talented he is. I've been watching him play since we were really young. Jalen's a really good player, obviously all-around player. Offensively, he can do everything, pass, get in the paint. But he's really good at getting downhill and transition, and we have to load up to him early and, make him passes, knowing that they got shooters as well.
Are you fully healed? Is it 100% healed? When I hear cracked ribs, I don't know medicine. Does that heal within 2 or 3 weeks? Is it 100% healed?
I don't know. I haven't looked at my ribs. We haven't done another image, but I feel good. I've taken some hits there, in the last couple days, and it feels 1,000 times better than it did, prior to. I feel good. I don't know what the actual rib looks like if I were to take a picture of it, an MRI or something, but I feel good, so that's ultimately
Are you going to wear any particular protection, like a flak jacket or a Kevlar or just something over your ribs just in case?
Yeah, training staff made a little custom. They had a sewing person come in and sew a whole new pad in for me, so I got quite the flap jacket. I look like a football player almost out there, so I'm gonna see how it goes, try to feel it out a little bit. Ultimately, just want to feel safe.
So like Kevlar or something like quarterbacks wear in football or during your football career?
Yeah, something like that. Hopefully I just don't get hit there, and we'll be good. But yeah, I'll be protected.
So you're not gonna wear a bullseye in the exact spot, so no one will know.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah.
You and Norm have had so few minutes together, and yet let's face it, coming into the season, the question was how would Tyler and Norm play together? How dynamic it could be if it worked. How important is it for you to get to a point with Norm to show people, hey, this is not only the present, this can be the future also?
Not much. Just playing basketball. We have a very deep team, so to just come out here and play with everybody. I've played 11 games this season, so I haven't played with anybody really.
Okay.
So just want to get out here and play with the whole team, get comfortable, and just stack some healthy games together. Just try to play a stretch of games where I'm healthy. That's all on my mind.
How are you feeling? How you're looking? I guess basically these next 2 games and trying to be a part of.
I'm feeling good. I'm available, ready to play, ready to finish out this second half, our last 26 games of the season. Get out to playing.
Particularly considering right before the All-Star break and how many guys were in and out. How nice is it to look at this floor yesterday and today and have the whole arsenal?
Really nice. It's something that we've been one and a half all year long. Finally having it in this important part of the season is really crucial for us to build chemistry and start to stack together some really important wins going down the stretch of this season.
What do you think task number one is tonight against these Hawks, who've obviously changed a couple times now since you played them last?
I'm starting off with the right mindset, knowing that they want an up-tempo game, knowing that we got to do a better job defensively and handling how they like to play. The guard screens, the transition threes, not really allowing them to get the open drives that they like to get. Really tying in all 5 guys on the floor and making the floor look crowded and making those second and third efforts, and then from there getting stops and being able to get out in transition and run.
How much are you looking forward to hopefully getting some games under your belt with Tyler? I feel like we've asked you about that like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. I'm really excited about it. I talked to him. We joked about it and everything. Obviously, a lot of the stuff you can't control with injuries and things like that. But it would be really good, for us to be fully healthy. Like I said, build that chemistry, and be a threat. He brings another dynamic offensively, that keeps defenses on their toes, and having me and him on the floor and working together will be great.
Hey, y'all better chill out.
How do you believe your games mesh? Even though you've had minimal minutes, how do you believe they mesh?
I just think just in the creativity that we both be able to bring, him being able to play with the ball and I'm able to go off the ball, and then vice versa, so it's you can have both of us in the corner coming off pin downs. You can have one on the ball, one off the ball, and have a different dynamic. I just think we have a lot of versatility in how we're able to put the ball in the basket.
How nice is it to just have all these pieces back together? Obviously, Tyler's top of the list, but a little better back for Norm, Pella back in the mix. Just everybody as you make this last chart.
Yeah, it's always good to go into the second half of the season with fully healthy and trying to make a push.
With Atlanta, as you've played them, this will be your 3rd time. The different bodies, different personnel dynamics. What is job number 1 tonight, though, with what you're going to deal with this Johnson all-star-led effort?
Just forcing them into tough shots, making it difficult for them, swarming the court, and obviously keeping our pace up.
Yesterday you mentioned you wanted to get one more box check, how Tyler's body responded to that full workout yesterday. He's got shoot around today. Is all of that certain, at least going into tonight?
Yeah, everything trended in a great way. It's solid practice yesterday, shoot around today. It's trending to be available tonight.
Yeah. How nice is it just to have all of your available bodies available for a change?
Yeah, and I think, a lot of teams are dealing with that. So you have to just manage whatever is going on. These are things that you can't control. Tyler's a competitor. These injuries have been unfortunate, but they've been real. I mean, he had 3 broken ribs. He was trying to play through it and just wasn't able, to sustain, that, by doing shots and everything. So it was needed to get this rest and recovery and rehab, but he's available, which is exciting. We're bringing back a major talent. Pella is in a very good spot. Norm is feeling better. Everybody's in a good place for this final stretch run, which should be a lot of fun. That's what I want our guys to do. I want them to enjoy this time of year. There's been all the narratives all year long, but this is what competitors want. You want to be able to fight for something, compete for something. We have an opportunity in front of us, and we're all looking forward to it.
Even another shift in personnel. I know they're not going to have everybody that they've acquired, but what is task number 1 yet again against Atlanta with maybe a different wrinkle of personnel?
We play similar styles, so I think they dictated the game. We had a good start to the game, and then from that point on, it was on their terms for the most part. And they had an impressive win last night on the road. This should set up to be a very fast and physical game because both teams want to play with pace. Both teams want to play with physicality. So we're going to have to get the game on our terms more, than we did certainly in Miami. And, it'll be a good competition.
Obviously, we haven't seen a lot of them together on the court, but you've seen practices, you saw the preseason. How do Tyler and Norm mesh as a scoring combo?
I'm not overthinking it. I don't know why anybody else would. We need the talent. What we're trying to do, we want to make a run here. So we need the guys available, and the minutes that they had were very good. I'm just excited that we have our guys available.
Is there any minutes limit or caution with Tyler to see, 1, if he takes a hit, 2, just his conditioning?
No, but we'll be certainly mindful. I'm not going to play him 38 minutes tonight. He hasn't played a game in a while, and he doesn't have the buildup of a lot of games. But he's always keeps himself in great condition. He'll be fine. He'll get back into rhythm probably quicker than most.
Kai's three-point shooting obviously has stood out in the time he's been out there. How much work has kind of gone into that improving that three-point shot, and how much of a threat has it become when he's out there?
He was a good shooter in college last year, particularly before his wrist hand injury. But he spent a lot of time, behind the scenes with Quinny. He's one of those guys that's always working on it. And so you've seen really good improvement. He's refined some things just to simplify his shot, but he had really good touch, before even getting here. But it's the work ethic. It's the consistency every single day. He's relentless with it and taking the appropriate ones. He's getting a lot of open catch and shoot threes right now. I'm sure at some point Scouting Report will change, as teams start to see him more often, but that shooting has been a good boost to our offense.